It's a year of the Lord 2016. I had the opportunity of starting school at one of the best schools in Zambia, Hillcrest Secondary School. It's a technical school. And when I arrived at the school, the very first thing was to be allocated the class, and I was given the one classes. And so I went at the dormitories, and people asked me, "What class have you been given?" And I mentioned, "I've been given C1." At that time, the C's were actually grade 10s. So you've got grade 10s, the C's, grade 11s, the D's, and the grade 12s would be the E's. So I was given C1, and everybody was like, "Ooh, you've been given a class together with Chipo Chibamli," one of my very, very good mates at that time. She was a force to reckon with. So fast forward, when school started, I was in a class, in an additional mathematics class. Fast forward to that, we had a couple of sessions where our professor, Mr. Ntukumina, I remember very well, Mr. Ntukes. So Mr. Ntukumina used to give us questions. For example, if we were to do a topic, he'd give us 15 questions to go revise, or rather answer. Then the following day you get back to him with all the answers. And imagine, you have a topic, then you have 15 questions. Who gives 15 questions? And I think that in itself helps us to do a little bit of repetition so that we can be good at what we are doing. So what happens next? The following day, I went to class with confidence that I had done all the 15 questions. It was systems of equations with 3 variables, and I was very confident. And funny enough, he began marking. I think I was the second in class. When he marked my book, he only marked 2, and the rest of the other questions were wrong out of 15 questions. And then he told me, "Come see me for a punishment in the afternoon." Then he went around the class, and I was the only one who didn't make it. So I went to him in the afternoon. Then I told him, I remember our conversation quite well. I was like, "Well, I'm here for the punishment, but I think you marked certain questions wrong which were correct." Then he tells me, "So you think I'm unfair to you?" I was like, "Yes, I think you're unfair to me." Then he said, "Okay, then go finish up your work. I want the work to be done." So what did I do? I went, continued working on the work. From that day, I was very, very up in class with doing the work accurately. Then the midterm came. So for me, I've always loved mathematics, that's one. Number 2, I'm fast at writing mathematics. I'm just so fast. I don't know how my brain works when it comes to math. I write very quickly. So I was given this paper with 5 questions. It was systems of equations in 3 variables, 5 questions. And I wrote that paper within 30 minutes. I think the paper was about 50 minutes. Within 30 minutes, I was done with all the questions. So I was seated in class, like waiting for the professor to actually tell us to go. And also, I was just shy to just start off and be the first one. So when I saw one of the ladies leave the class, I think it was Nehema, I think so. She left the class first, and I was the second one. I left the class. We left. At that time, I met a couple of good friends. There was Willow and a guy called Hide the Ride. Some of those nicknames would give each other. So, William, yeah. So, when we were done with everything, they were asking me, "Man, how did you fare with it?" I was like, "It was okay. I actually finished." They knew at that particular moment that this guy definitely did not finish, because normally people don't usually finish such questions. These are long questions when you start solving for you to find the final answer. These are long questions. So fast forward to the time when he marked the papers and came to class. Then he was like, "There is someone who got everything correct." And everybody was like, Chipo, because Chipo was a brain buster. Like, she was that girl. That girl who everybody looked up to her in our class. Like people, in fact, people began studying for her. She was very brilliant. And so, what happens? My friends start shouting at me because they knew when I told them this I finished. They started shouting my name, but I was just like, nah, you just wait. Then he was like, I marked this paper 7 times trying to check for errors, but I couldn't. Then he was like, this person actually came out early. And so I was wondering. Then he said, the person who got everything correct in additional mathematics is Monica Savenuchima. And the class went, oh, and everybody was just like, oh, this is so freaking amazing. I became famous. Everybody wanted to know, who is this boy who gets everything in art? But like additional mathematics, people must testify. Additional mathematics is not something that you just play around with. Those were subjects that people were afraid of. It was freaking amazing. So yeah, everybody wanted to know me. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? When things started crumbling, because I wasn't really doing well in other subjects, but I also admired or aspired to be like Chipo. Chipo was really good. She was good across all the subjects. So one time, I went to her. Then I asked her, how do you study? Because you're so brilliant, you do well. How do you become this brilliant young lady? What's your secret? And she told me, and these words I won't paraphrase, she told me exactly right in front of my face. She was like, Monarchy, you are my inspiration. Like, whoa. Back off for a bit. A person I've always looked up to, a person who everyone in my class, in fact, the whole school talks about. We're all emulating her, like, she's brilliant, she's amazing, and everything. We're all emulating her. She tells me, who's been struggling with other subjects, because, okay, I can have the advantage with mathematics, but I've been struggling with the other subjects. She tells me that I am her inspiration. Jaw dropped. I was really shocked. And she proceeded and told me, you got everything in additional mathematics. So I asked myself this question. If he can do it, why not me? And from that day, it kept on ringing in my mind that we might think as though our actions don't inspire others. We might undermine ourselves. To me, that was undermining myself at that time, and there are many times when I undermine myself. But I get to realize that the things that we do currently, the things that are giving value to people, you might think they are not, but they're actually giving value to people. You are definitely an inspiration. You have the power, the influence to do things that might change the course of life of other people. And I've always believed that, and you also have to believe it, because we are born with a certain influence, with a certain, we'll call it purpose, that we are to do something that is going to help other people, to help other people. So to me, that in itself was an awakening call. And one other lesson that I learned was that even the best are actually in the process of learning. They're always learning. They're always looking for opportunities to learn, to become better, to become good. So she looked at me and was like, well, if you can do it, why not me? So if I can do it, why not you? If that person can do it, why not you? So whatever things you're thinking of, if they can do it, why not you, right? And lastly, and most importantly, for me, I've always had pride in asking questions so that I can learn. Always ask. Don't have pride to an extent where you don't want to ask for help. Ask for help. It's very cardinal. It's very necessary. You need other people to grow. And for me, that was a moment of growth, right? My class, the class was amazing. When I think about how school was in uh, from grade 10 to 12. It was the most amazing moment, class mates I've ever had as far as school is concerned. I miss those people. And yeah, hopefully this inspires you, gives you some motivation to start and just do it. Cheers.